Hello, healthy friends. This is Terry coming to you on the Aquarius full moon, which will be happening July 23rd at 7:36 p.m. in the West Coast. And it will be happening at 2 degrees of Aquarius. And I was just doing someone's astrology chart, and I realized sometimes I just think that everyone knows all about astrology, and I forget to backtrack and just explain a few simple concepts in astrology. And I thought it would be fun to talk today about the axis of Aquarius and Leo, because whenever we have a full moon, the full moon is opposing the sun. So for instance, this July we have the sun entering Leo, and the sun at Leo will be opposed this full moon in Aquarius because Leo and Aquarius share an axis. And it is really fun in astrology to study these astrological axes and see how we have opposing signs that really are different. Like Leo is the queen or the king, and Leo is all about being self-centered, demanding what you want, getting things for yourself. It's a very selfish sign. It's very theatrical and attention-seeking, and I have Leo rising, and I know Leos can be complete attention seekers. They like to hog the spotlight all for themselves, whereas Aquarius is all about doing stuff for the community and a selfless service to others. And I know a lot of social workers have strong Aquarius, because social work is a very Aquarius. I will give my life to serve the community and help others in need. And so this full moon will be coming in with this dichotomy of the self and the selfish, what do I want, my needs, and Aquarius, what is good for the community, what should I be doing to serve mankind, how can I help the earth and Mother Nature. And Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, which is all about unexpected events. Of course, we've had a lot of Uranus aspects this whole year we've been talking about, and it's coming in strong. And so we can really see some unexpected events with this full moon. And I just wanted to read the Sabian symbol for the Aquarius at 2 degrees because it is all about thunderstorms, which is so perfect. And an unexpected thunderstorm, which we just have been having those where I live in the high desert in Central Oregon. And boy, the power of a thunderstorm, whatever you're doing, you just got to go outside and look at the lightning and hear that thunderclap. And it's just so exciting. It's really one of those moments where Mother Nature just demands your attention. And there is a need with this Sabian symbol to develop inner security, which will make us able to meet these unexpected storms that are coming through. And boy, we have a lot of unexpected storms coming through this summer. There's so much unknown with the weather, and I think this is very ominous as we go into hurricane season, having this Sabian symbol of be prepared for the unexpected storm. Even with all of our technology, even with everything we know in the weather world, we still can't really predict what is going to happen with these hurricanes and with these storms and with thunderstorms. And this electrical storm, in the first case, we will deal with a lot of energy with this full moon, and there will be activities that are ruled by Mother Nature, and they are out of our hands. And so here we are primarily concerned with the social collective process that occurs after an emergency. and how people will need to come together. Just like I said, Aquarius is about coming together and serving mankind. And if you've ever lived anywhere where there was maybe a hurricane or an earthquake, I grew up in California when we had the huge Oakland earthquake, and boy, people really come together. You check on your neighbors, even neighbors you didn't know. Suddenly you have this bond after a Mother Nature kind of crisis. And that's what this full moon is about. It's the coming together after a state of crisis. And we are all collectively emerging and coming back together after the entire crisis that was 2020. And who knows what other crisis this summer will bring as our climate is changing and our weather is becoming more and more unpredictable. And there can also be danger with this thunderstorm in the forms of fires and flash floods. So that's something we may be coming into as we go later into this July. Unexpected fires and unexpected flash flooding coming from this thunderstorm energy. And we are not prepared for what is about to happen. This is a completely unexpected thunderstorm, as the Sabian symbol says. And nature may reduce the impermanence, the seemingly permanent endeavors of mankind can be reduced to rubble in an instant. And boy, did we just see that in Florida. Everybody's just living in their apartment, minding their own business, and then poosh, the whole thing just collapses. And so there can be this unexpected even a downpour of rain where there's never been rain. Adobe brick can turn to mud overnight in such a rain. And all human institutions and their achievements can be washed away in an instant by Mother Nature. Whew, this is a scary one. Dust you were and dust you will become once again. And this is nature challenging us at this full moon. And we are all feeling Mother Nature showing us just how incredible Mother Nature can be over man. We are so tiny. We're like little ants, and Mother Nature could just sweep us away. So I see this as a very foreboding full moon, and I hate to be doom and gloom. I know I've been really tapping in intuitively and been getting some energetic downloads that there's some scary things to come, and one person on Facebook called me Chicken Little. And this is the part where I don't love astrology, because it does make me rather superstitious, and it's just, you can't deny that these astrological aspects are there, and to just put your head in the sand and say la la la, what if nothing's happening, I'm just going to go along my way, well, that's just not my style. I guess I'm a Scorpio, I'm a realist, I'm going to look at these things and prepare the best I can, but honestly, when Mother Nature's involved, there's no preparation great enough, you know? So if I'm Chicken Little, I'm just telling you, this full moon has some foreboding aspects. And what I find most interesting about this Aquarius full moon is that the moon is just snuggled up right in between Pluto in Capricorn and Saturn now in Aquarius. And remember in 2020, all the craziness that was 2020, all of the havoc was started with that Pluto and Saturn conjunction, when Pluto and Saturn, who were traveling close together, and then Pluto and Saturn came together in Capricorn. That's when all the crazy started. So now it's like this Aquarius full moon is coming back around to illuminate everything that was 2020. And first, that full moon will come conjunct Pluto in Capricorn. And Pluto, of course, represents our shadow self, our innermost fears, our deep underground, underworldly transformations. Pluto is normally symbolized by Scorpio, so it's the real deep, dark mysteries and fears and worries, and the moon is just going to come and illuminate it. When the moon is conjunct Pluto, just right before the moon is full, the moon will conjunct Pluto, just lighting up and illuminating all of our fears and our worst shadow You know, all the things we've been trying to avoid with Pluto has been in the shadows, and now Pluto is going to be lit up, and we just won't be able to avoid all the feelings. And then the moon is full, and then it will cross over to be conjunct Saturn in Aquarius. And Saturn is moved on to Aquarius, and Saturn, remember, is the great teacher, the karmic lessons, and Saturn wants rules, regulations, and Saturn in Aquarius is saying we've got to come together in a community and create a new way of being. And so when the moon crosses over this, I think that we are still doing a lot of mental processing of everything that went on in 2020, and even as many of us are emerging now, it's like things feel a little bit different when we're in communing. It's like we don't even know how to be around each other in community anymore. And it's almost like when you go to kindergarten and you're just starting out with all your socialization, and you're like, what are the rules? How do we play this game? And that's why there's lots of games in kindergarten to teach children just how to behave in social situations. It's like we are starting all over. And the moon is really illuminating this Pluto Saturn aspect that we went through. All of 2020 was ruled by these power planets of Pluto and Saturn, and now we get this chance to sort of light it up and revisit what happened last year and how am I feeling about this. And this is a really good time to work on your mental health, and even maybe taking your children in for therapy as they're processing all that went on for them. It was a very dark and hard year for kids in school and figuring out how to navigate everything. And so as this lights up that Saturn-Pluto aspect, it's really asking you to revisit how you're feeling as we move forth into this new world. We're almost moving into an unknown territory as we are starting all over again into this new world that we're just birthing into being. And as Pluto and Saturn are just really making their presence known in this full moon Aquarius, it's a really good time to take a look at your astrological chart and see, where do Pluto and Saturn, where is this full moon crossing over? Where is your Saturn, where's your Aquarius, and where is your Capricorn? Because those are the houses that are really going to be lit up. For me, this Pluto Saturn hits my 6th house, so it's all about my health and daily routines, and I am really navigating some changes as I move forward in how I'm working differently. And my routine, of course, like so many people, my routine was really thrown off in 2020, and now I'm just trying to get back to a normal schedule with life and work-life balance. A lot of people are dealing with that. But wherever your Pluto in Capricorn would cross over, wherever that would transit, so it would transit in your Capricorn, and then wherever this Aquarius full moon is transiting, and then where is your Saturn and Aquarius transiting. It's really interesting to take a look at your chart, and you can pull up free charts like on astro.com and just try to look at the transits and see which house this will be showing up for you. So just knowing wherever this full moon is for you, this might be an area where you're stepping into the unknown as we start this new world and maybe you're starting a new job, maybe you just moved. So many people have migrated and moved and are starting new lives. And I was just listening to On Being podcast, and I heard the greatest little jewel from Letters to a Young Poet, where he says in his 4th letter, have patience with all that is unresolved in your life right now and in your heart, and learn to love the questions. Oh, I just love that. Learn to love the questions, because the questions themselves are like closed rooms full of opportunity. And don't try to find instant answers to these questions. There is no quick fix here this year. So the answers, they cannot be given to you. And everything is to be discovered as you live. And so just live your questions. And this is what I'm really going to try to be doing this summer, is just like, I don't know the solution to all the world's problems, and I don't think any of us do right now. And so maybe we just need to spend this summer sitting in the question of, how can we make the world a better place? How will we recover from whatever 2020 was? How can we improve our earth? How can we figure out what's going on with our climate and our weather patterns? It's all so big, and it is really asking us to just sit with it. And don't try to find instant resolution, because I don't think there are instant resolutions. And this is the time to just live and love the questions. And in asking those questions, that's when we will grow. And our whole life is just a journey of understanding the questions and seeking the answers. But we can't get instant, you can't Google this. This is bigger than that. So live the questions now, and perhaps then you will gradually, without even noticing, one day in the future, live into the answers. And the focus is to just stay present in the moment and be uncomfortable with not knowing. And tomorrow is not promised to any of us. So try to be grateful for every day, enjoying the sunrise and the sunset, being with your family, appreciating the good food, and just taking in this moment. And just living into the questions, and hopefully the answers will be found eventually this way. This is the only way. And we just have so much that is unresolved in our world right now, and so much we collectively need to solve. And so as we are in this time of a pivotal shift, and we are sort of in between two worlds, it's like liminal space. We don't really have our foot on the ground. And so as we are coming forth, if we can just get comfortable with living the questions, being in the unknown, being in the liminal space, and just loving the questions and not worrying about the answers, and just finding this as a way of growth and transformation, and being open to all possibilities. Anything can happen in this aspect. And I know people are manifesting like crazy right now, and you could manifest miracles in this liminal not knowing, as long as you don't get caught up in the like, I have to do this, I got to do that, and stop pushing. Don't push for it. Just let it come to you. And when you just release and get out in nature, like we just got out in nature today, and then I got like 6 orders for astrology readings, just being out on a hike, which is so amazing. I wasn't even thinking, I wasn't even trying to get business, and business just comes. And I think that's the magic, is it when you just really get out there and you get out into nature therapy, and you take a pause, taking these pauses and not pushing forward so hard in your business all the time. That's when you allow things to really come to you. And there's one other aspect that is really affecting this full moon in Aquarius, and that is that Mars in Leo. Remember, Mars in Leo just conjunct Venus in Leo, and that was just the most romantic, fertile, beautiful day. And then Mars in Leo just wants to go forward, just wants to reopen that business, just wants to make some money, get it going. Mars in Leo is really that pushing forward energy. It's like ambition, I gotta get out there, I gotta make up for lost time, I gotta get going. going. But Mars in Leo on July 22nd, just before this full moon, will find itself quincunx that Pluto in Capricorn. And just as I was speaking about earlier, that Pluto in Capricorn is our fears and our shadows. And Mars in Leo is like, oh, well, this whole pandemic is over. I'm just going to get back to work and live my life and nothing to worry about. And Pluto in Capricorn is like, not just yet. There's a little pullback. And I think of Pluto and Capricorn. Capricorn is that mountain goat on the cliff. And we were just hiking here in Central Oregon on some really cliffy, rocky mountains up over a lake. And whew, what do you do if you're on a cliff? Do not look down. But that Pluto in Capricorn is like, wants you to look down. And if you look down, it's going to be really hard to go forward. So we've got like Mars and Leo that's just like, let's just go. Let's just hike this thing. Let's get to the top of the mountain. Let's make an achievement. And then Pluto in Capricorn is that mountain goat on that rocky cliff with the rocks sliding out under your feet. And Pluto is saying, look down. And you're not going to want to go forward if you look down. So there's that kind of 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Oh my God, I want to get going. I want to make that money. I want to achieve something. Finally, it's been so long. And then Pluto is like going to stop you in your tracks with the fear. And so that there is just these, you know, we want to get going, we want to emerge, we want to create community again, we want to come together as a community to heal. And we just had our healthy happy hour with the Bend Health Guide, and it was so lovely just to see so many people's faces and to be in community once more. And at the same time, I had a little bit of like, God, I hope this isn't a super spreader event, because the last thing in the world I would want to do as a health provider is to create an event, a gathering of people, and then have people, you know, get this Delta variant or something. So there's a lot of this like push-pull. You want to have the event, but then you're a little bit pulled back. And we're just going to be dealing with this energy all year, I think, as we try to emerge in these new ways. And we're still trying to figure out what feels safe and how to reconnect when we've been apart for so long. And again, we have in the 9-star key, we have this whole July is ruled by that 9 fire star. And that 9 fire star is a very high energy. It just wants to get out and get going. But then we're in that fire star in a metal year, and fire melts metal. So you can get out there and you can really have a catastrophic situation that's going to cost you financially if you go too far too fast, and you could just burn it all down by doing too much this month. So remember, don't yang out. Don't get so much of that hot, fiery energy rising up that you overdo it and you overwork because you're so excited you finally can get the work done, or you finally can go back to work, and then you do too much and you just burn yourself out. This 9-star key in a metal year would indicate burnout. And I know a lot of people dealing with burnout right now, and I am a Reiki master teacher, and I teach Reiki. I'm teaching a Reiki for Abundance class on August 8th. And the number one reason that people come to learn Reiki and get that Reiki attunement is because they are burnt out, and everybody is collectively so burnt out from trying to work in this new world where everything is harder. And so my Reiki for Abundance is almost full. I'm only going to teach to 5 students, and I think I have 3 already, but anyways, I know I'm going to be seeing a lot of burnt out people in that class because it's just the energy of the summer with this powerful 9-star key. And in the I Ching, and this is number 51, the Chen I Ching. During a long, hot summer, everyone may be feeling tortured by the sun, and then there's suddenly the sound of thunder collapse. And first comes fear and shock, and then scream focus. And you just can't even make this stuff up. That this I Ching would be saying the very same exact thing as the Sabian symbol for this full moon Aquarius. We have unexpected thunderstorm as the Sabian symbol, and then we have shock and a thunderclap in the I Ching. And this is what I just love about studying both Western astrology and Chinese 9-star key and the I Ching and even Ayurvedic astrology, because they are all saying the same exact things all the time. East meets West, and we are more alike than we are different. And as this I Ching continues on, the shock comes that terrifies everyone for 100 miles around, but he does not drop the sacrificial spoon and cup. So when you find yourself in a state of shock, there is, for just a brief moment, a stillness and a heightened state of awareness, as if time itself is slowing down. Look for the path to safety there and find the helpers in this precious moment. And this I Ching relates to the youngest son, the groundbreaker, who will also become a change maker in our world. And young individuals are emerging out of crisis to show great strength and courage in adversity. And the storm has passed. It will be time to devise a strategy before the next big storm comes. And this I Ching can also symbolize breakthroughs and bursts of new energy. There's a shaking of intense energy, and let's just hope this does not indicate earthquakes. This I Ching can also be symbolic of the fire dragon, lighting us up in our state of darkness, just as we are in that 9 fire star in the 9-star key. This is indicating a new inspiration that's coming in. And it may come shocking at first, like a shocking revelation of inspiration. When someone or something may be seen at this time for who they truly are or what they have done. Secrets can be revealed at this time that will be quite shocking. And this is all part of the shock and awe of the thunderclap I Ching. And this I Ching also is talking a lot about the benefits of rain. When the thunder comes in a hot summer, it is nourishing to the soils, the dry soils beneath. And so there is a promise of hope within this I Ching, that maybe this is a really good time again to be praying for rain. This Aquarius full moon, of course, Aquarius is the water bearer. So this full moon, just as we had the new moon in Cancer, water sign, and now we have the full moon in Aquarius, the water bearer. This can have the hope, the promise of water to come. And we just hope it doesn't come in the form of flash floods, but that it comes in a nourishing way, that we can have the soils be rained on once again. And so I hope that this Aquarius full moon brings you a nourishing rain, and after the shock and awe, there is success to be had. And so I wish you all the best in your endeavors this summer, and I will infuse this entire astrology reading with distance Reiki to support whatever is going on this very crazy full moon. And I'm also going to include a pendulum energy clearing. I can send distance energy clearing to all of you who are watching. So thank you for watching. Again, like and subscribe for a chance to win a free astrology chart for the next full moon report. Thank you, and have a beautiful day.